So why don't you start off with why you chose this instrumentation?
Um, well, I I think it was presented to me to write for organ and a solo instrument. And being a violist, I'm always very acoustically aware of what might be a good partnership. Uh, and I deeply love brass instruments. Maybe because so many years as a violist, sat right in front of them in orchestra. I'm always seated there, and I look behind, and I'm in the full force of their glory.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
literally
you are.
like like a laser beam, and so I have a soft spot. But also, um, I deeply love the trombone because it's the only, I think, brass instrument that could really do a lot of glissandi, that could like really exist between two pitches and have that expressiveness that I tend to like in my music, how to go from one sound to another in a like sort of stretched out tappy like way. Um, so I already had a soft spot for it, and then I thought, man, it would be so much fun to just write like a really fun, just declamatory showpiece for both the organ and the trombone. And so that's how I came up with that combination for Strong Arms to Hold Back the Dark.
Perfect. And any thoughts for people as they come to it for the first time about ways in to listen to the piece?
Sure. I mean, it's well, a couple of things. It's for me, it's a typical story of something that's challenging to you emotionally or otherwise in the beginning, and sort of facing different hardships, then finding and collecting one's strength and courage through the middle of the piece when it's more, you see a lot of close harmony and this sort of shimmering, this dialogue and almost duos that happen between the organ and the trombone. And then the last part of it is just straight up a party. I mean, I don't know how, just a celebration. I mean, and there's a couple of life events that kind of go along with this. My son is graduating high school. In fact, I believe this piece is being premiered on his 18th birthday.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations.
and my husband and I are both freelance musicians in New York, and we're just celebrating the fact that we survived being adults, and parents, um, to someone going off into the world, and uh, and also I feel that it's unmistakable to hear not hear in to miss at the end my sort of tip of the hat to the Vita Toccata because it's like one of my favorite pieces in the world. My husband and I went to Juilliard, and so for four different graduations, we heard John Weaver break into that at the end. Like
Uh,
that's his job, um, and that was the end of every graduation, and it was always so great. I looked forward to it every single time, and and always was just such a celebration. And so I wanted this piece to have that kind of groove, uh, but also allow the trombone just to have to be its loudest, most rambunctious self, which usually brass players are told, "Shh, be quiet," But I wanted to allow, I think, both the organ and the trombone just to just let loose and just have a really wonderful big time.
well, it's a great pairing because the as you say, the organ is usually when it's accompanying another instrument has to just play on the softest stops, and
Right.
to be able to let it out, and then for the brass player to be able to let it out, it's that's a great idea.
Yes.
So I love that, and so the piece sounds like it has a real transformation of affect that takes place from the opening to the middle, and then kind of a celebration at the end, which is in this in the world we're in at the moment. Music around celebration is always welcome.
Yes, absolutely. And also as a performing musician for many years, I find myself a lot of my work happened to be in churches and with organists or oratorios or and singers for some reason. And both my husband and I play with Trinity Wall Street almost all the time, and they're getting ready to unveil their new big organ. We actually
They are.
we Avi Stein is a good friend of ours, and we walked up into the top as
Oh,
they're, and we're watching, and every time we go there for rehearsal, we're watching them like put the gold leaf on the pipes. I mean, we've been watching this, so I can't wait for that organ just to happen.
Yeah.
But uh, but it's just, it is one of my favorite instruments. Just the sheer power and joy. Like, playing so many Easter services where, you kinda wait at the end and the organist just gets to go crazy for a while. It's like one of my favorite things to be able to sit next to them and watch them. So, to be able to write, for this instrument in the way that I was able to at the time, for this piece, just, I don't know, it's just one of my favorite pieces, and I'm just happy to share it.
Well, thank you for that, because it's for people who don't play the organ, which are most composers nowadays. It's not the easiest instrument to delve into, because you think it's going to function like a piano, which of course is a percussion instrument,
Mm-mm.
but it's a wind instrument, and so it doesn't function like a piano, and even though it has a keyboard, and and so that concept for a lot of composers is tricky. So I delight that you gravitate to it, and I can't wait to hear the piece. It's going
Yeah,
to be
me neither. I
really
can't
fun.
wait. Yeah.
All right, thank you
Okay.
so much. This is
Alright, thank you.
been a great joy, and I'll see you in a few months.
I'll see you soon.
All right,
Okay.
take care now. Bye bye.
Bye.